Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, AHBAD. Unprofitable service, St. Petersburg, Florida, GMS Tampa Bay 12. I want to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, HASHAM, YAHAWASHI, HASHAM, Kadash. Double honors to my elder apostles at Great MILLSTONE who rule well. Single honor salutation to all you sincere brothers that's constantly pushing his word in truth and sincerity. Peace and blessings be unto the 1/3, and peace and blessings also be to the confusion of faces in the four corners of the earth. Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all. Man, this video really comes from something that I witnessed today, and this is also a reminder to you younger brothers in this ministry and this truth. But before I go any further into discussing the matter with you brothers and whoever else may be listening, I'm going to get into the story real quick. So, I ride public transportation, in other words, the city bus. So I'm sitting on the city bus, of course. I'm sitting on, they have two seats, so I'm sitting on the seat that's close to the aisle. And, people getting on, bus almost halfway full. So I'm wondering what's taking so long, because I'm looking at the front window of the bus, and, I don't see too much going on, but we just standing there looking, people looking. It's, why we sitting here for so long, So next thing you know, the individual who gets on the bus, man, looks like dude like he was about 8, 9 years old. Had a hat on, had a backpack almost bigger than him on, you know what I'm saying, like he was trekking. But he was the one that was putting the bike on. He was putting his bike on the bus. And I could hear the people murmuring like, oh my God, he's so little. And first thing I was like, man, I just looked at him. Like, dang, little dude, young man, getting around. I don't even think he's a teenager yet. And I automatically just moved over to the side, while he's putting his money in. He sat by the window, and the spirit had it where he sat right next to me, and you know how your parents be telling you, don't talk to strangers, take nothing from strangers. I actually had 2 bottles of water. One was already open. I was drinking out of it, and I had another one in my backpack. And I just, just said, you want a bottle of water? And he was like, no. I said, okay. I didn't say nothing to him the whole time. I was just on my phone, and then I just see random people like they'll just kind of ask him questions. Like where you going? Are you okay? Do you know where you're going? And he just sitting there, he's talking, responding, but he just sitting there, looking forward. And in my mind and my spirit, I'm like, Lord, just watch this young man, And it goes to show that it doesn't matter your age, how old you are. Do the work, get it done, whatever you have to do, And as soon as I got off the bus, I was like, excuse me, young man. As I said, excuse me, sir. I said, thank you, young man. And as soon as I was walking off, I said, be safe out here. And I just got off the bus. And it reminded me of, this precept right here. 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 12. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word and conversation and charity and spirit and faith and purity. So, you have men who are seasoned, men who've been doing the ministry, you could say half a decade, 10 years, half 2 decades, 20 years, all the way up to 30 years, But despite the fact of you being youthful, or even you coming into the truth, because you can be 30, 40-year-old man, you just not coming to the truth. Spiritually, you a babe, I'm still a babe. And I started doing the ministry 2013, but I'm still a babe, because we grow every day. But for you younger brothers who are really in your late teens, early 20s, I even say, going into late 20s as well, you have to show, be an example to those who are also believers. Like, there are elders who watch some younger brothers' videos, or may come across a video and Khan or Shalom, or you never know, thumb up, because of you doing it in all conversation, in your words. Okay, and the charity, which is the brother love, as you showing the spirit on display, because you're manifesting it by the works, and you're doing it in all purity. It's like purity, in all purity. And it's in verse 13. Till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. So until YAHAWASHI come, always be attentive to reading, and that's very key in this thing of ours, because. The spirit just be so heavy on certain brothers just be throwing up 2, maybe even 3 videos a day. But that's just the spirit that's on that brother. But this is one of the key things that you want to be doing in this ministry. Reading. Revelation 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So, if you think about the unit, he said, what the apostle asked him, knowest what thou readest? He said, no, except some man teach me. So when you read in 1 Timothy 4:13, it says, till I come, give attendance to reading, to exhortation, to doctrine. And you know, this was a letter to Timothy as well, but really this through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Because 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, I believe the 37th verse, Paul said, the things that write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. So we're supposed to continue in these things until YAHAWASHI come back. But blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy. And what does faith come by? Hearing. So now this is the time where faith has been increased. We've been given the faith, so we're supposed to hold on to it. You know? So you younger brothers, man, who are actually in this ministry, you can't be afraid of this gift that you have. Don't be ashamed of it. That young boy who got on the bus today, he was not ashamed to get on the bus. It got to the point that his sheer will made people want to show mercy upon him. You know, they actually made people were actually concerned for him, but he's doing it. That's like us out there going to do the work. We putting our lives on the line, you know. Cry aloud, spreading out, lift up that voice like a trumpet. We're making ourselves living sacrifices, because Elder Malcolm says it a lot. He always saying those who are risking their freedom and lives to do so. That's a heavy statement. I mean, come on. The same book that we're reading, there are men who perish for preaching the word. And guess what? Those same men are here again today. You understand? So this is that time. And regardless of your age, man, don't let no man despise you for that. Because you could be out there, you can have a young camp with brothers who probably no more than 25 years old, and you have this old timer come by. What you know about the Bible? I've been reading the Bible before you was even in diapers, and yeah, I had kids before you were born. Okay, what did the Lord say to Jeremiah though? You know, so so it's like there are even examples in the scriptures. But let me continue on to 1 Timothy 4. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 14. Neglect not the gift that is in thee, which was given thee by prophecy, with the laying on of the hand of the presbytery. But the point I wanted you to listen to is neglect not the gift. And people are being healed by these words. Okay? Now I want to go to Jeremiah, the 1st chapter, really quick. And you know what that gift is too, is faith. Because if you really have faith, you wouldn't even be concerned with how people even look at you, regardless of your age. And that's how that young man presented himself today. And man, that was just a beautiful sight. He didn't even touch me, to the point I just told the Lord just to watch over him. That little boy could have been an angel. He would just like, he just like showed like no fear. He was just like on the bus, like, man, getting it. Even I'm thinking about it right now, man. It was a touching experience for me. You know, like, this young man is out here like a grown person, handling business, getting it, you know. This is Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 4. Then the word of Yahawah came unto me, saying, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee, and I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. Then said I, Lord God, behold, I cannot speak, for I am a child. He was young. Listen to this. Verse 7. But the Lord said unto me, say not, I am a child, for thou shalt go to all that I shall send thee, and whatsoever I command thee, thou shalt speak. That's why Yahawashi saying in Matthew the 10th chapter, the 20th verse, he said, it's not you that speaketh, but it's the Father that speaketh within you. Verse 8, be not afraid of their faces, for I am with thee to deliver thee, saith the Lord. Call her Lord YAHAWASHI. You know? So that right there is also a prime example of someone who was a prophet who was very youthful. He said, I'm a child. The Lord said, no, say you not a child. Okay? Because I'm going to put my words in your mouth. So regardless of how old or how young the house is, talking about your bodies, the spirit's everlasting anyway. You know what I mean? The elders, man, I've seen videos of the elders back in the 90s, man. You know, like 95, whatever. They had VH tapes, you know, when they had them old school quarters. Yo, all the elders had black hair. Now they all got gray hairs, man. They growing. You know, they're not them no young men anymore. Now they're the elders. They had elders, now they're elders, you know. But it's just a process It's just a process of when the Most High is ready for you to get that truth. You could have got it younger, you know. You could have been born in at another time. Everything is coulda, woulda, shoulda, but it didn't happen. It happened on His time. So that's just a lot that you have to accept, just like Jeremiah had to accept that lot, you know. I got another precept, and I'm gonna close out. It was just a very inspiring visual when I saw him, and I was like, man, it was just very beautiful. But this is Sirach 42:8. Be not ashamed to inform the unwise and foolish, and the extreme age that contendeth with those that are young. Thus shalt thou be truly learned and approved of all living men. So in other words, don't be ashamed of this gospel. Don't be ashamed that you are young and you have this truth, and maybe your father don't have it, you know, or your uncle don't have it, or your older brother don't have it, or the pastor you've been knowing for years don't have it. One thing you don't do, though, you don't rebuke your mother or your father, and you don't rebuke the elders, okay? But nonetheless, though, you do it privily. You do it with knowledge. You know, we don't have to be rah-rah. Because when, when we first come to the truth, we be, kind of be on fire, be lit. But at the same time, though, we have to be temperate. And temperate means knowing how to control ourselves. All right? So, hey, don't be ashamed of this gospel, and do not worry about how men looking at you, because the angels looking at them too. The angels reporting everything. They reporting what the men of the Lord are doing, and you 1/3. And they report on what 2/3 and the rest of the world is doing. Real talk, all eyes on me. Alright? Like Paul said, all eyes is on everybody. Whether you like it, accept it, believe it or not. That's why you think there's so many chariot sightings. Those are the eyes of the Lord. But nonetheless, I pray you edified with this video. I'm going to give all honor, glory, and praises unto YAHAWAH, SHAM, the water for keeping the spirit of edification upon me. If anybody else who's been fed today, anybody else whose spirit been uplifted, the water YAHAWAH for that, because that's what keeps us motivated. We keep each other motivated, all right? But nonetheless, though, like I always say, man, ask for forgiveness, pray without ceasing, stay humble, remain diligent. Kwame Yasha Allah, Waf Ball, Shalom Israel.